For decades, Kenyans have been told that electricity is the engine of development, the key to a modern, prosperous nation. But for millions of you, that promise has come with a crippling price tag. Why is your electricity bill so high? The answer lies not in a simple economic explanation, but in a dark, twisted tale of greed, power, and the systematic looting of a national asset. This is the untold story of the Kenya Power and Lighting Company. In the early days of independence, connecting to the national grid was a powerful symbol of progress. But under Presidents Jomo Kenyatta and Daniel Arap Moi, this privilege was reserved for a select few. The official connection fee was prohibitively expensive for the average Kenyan, often amounting to years of savings. But it wasn't just about the cost of infrastructure. This was a system deliberately designed to create a bottleneck, a tool for political control and patronage. Getting connected required connections of a different kind. If you weren't politically connected, you were left in the dark, both literally and figuratively. This era laid the foundation, teaching a generation of officials that Kenya Power was not just a public utility, but a source of power and privilege. The culture of impunity at Kenya Power found its ultimate architect in one man, Samuel Gichuru, the managing director for over 20 years. Under his watch, KPLC wasn't just mismanaged, it was treated as a personal treasury. Gichuru's method was simple yet devastatingly effective. He and his associates created a web of companies that acted as mandatory commission agents. Any foreign firm wanting to sell equipment to Kenya Power had to go through them, paying a hefty bribe, often 20 to 30%, which was simply added to the contract price. Investigations, particularly by the UK's Serious Fraud Office, traced millions of pounds in bribes from British companies into Gichuru's offshore accounts in the Isle of Man. With this stolen money, he built a multi-billion-shilling empire, luxurious homes, prime real estate, and vast business investments. Every transformer, every meter, every kilometer of cable was sold to Kenyans at an inflated price to fund this private empire. But Gichuru did not act alone. He operated with the highest level of political protection. This brings us to the then Energy Minister, Chris Okomo. The minister, whose job was to provide oversight and protect the public interest, became a key accomplice in the looting. While Gichuru ran the scheme from inside Kenya Power, Minister Okomo provided the crucial political cover, approving dubious contracts and shielding the operation from scrutiny. The UK courts would later be involved in efforts to extradite both men for receiving millions in bribes. This collusion between the top management and the highest levels of government made it impossible for whistleblowers to succeed. The very people meant to stop the theft were leading it. This was not a victimless crime, it was a national betrayal, and every shilling stolen was a shilling added to the future electricity bills of Kenyans. After the Gichuru era, the looting didn't stop, it just evolved. The new mechanism. The controversial contracts with independent power producers, or IPPs. Sold to the public as a solution to power shortages, they have become the single biggest reason your electricity bills are so high today. Here's how the scam works. Kenya Power is forced by government-backed contracts to buy power from these private companies under take-or-pay clauses. This means we must pay them for power, whether we need it or not. Even when we have an abundance of cheap, clean geothermal power from our own Kenyan, we are legally obligated to buy expensive, diesel-generated power from IPPs and pay them millions for doing nothing. The result? While we pay Kenyan about 4 Kenyan shillings per unit, we pay some IPPs up to 50 Kenyan shillings or even 100 Kenyan shillings per unit. These billions in capacity charges are what you see as the fuel cost charge on your bill. It's a direct transfer of wealth from your pocket to a few, well-connected IPP owners. So, the next time you look at your high electricity bill, remember this: you are not just paying for the power you used. You are paying for Samuel Gichuru's empire, for Chris Okomo's political cover, and for the guaranteed profits of a few well-connected IPP owners. The looting of Kenya Power is a crime against every Kenyan taxpayer, every struggling business, and every mother trying to make ends meet. But this story doesn't have to end here. It's time to take back our power. Demand accountability from your leaders. Share this video with everyone you know and use the hashtag #NKPcorruption. Ask your member of parliament what they are doing to renegotiate these crippling IPP contracts. The light at the end of the tunnel should not be an oncoming train of debt. It's time for Kenyans to say, enough is enough.